Welcome back to the channel, guys. Winter finally arrived here in Wyoming, although it didn't come in all that hard. We've only got about 2 inches of snow here, but it was several days of just completely overcast weather, and my batteries just got completely drained out about 2 to 3 days in. And yeah, so I've been really fighting to keep things either charged, have phone charger. Luckily, I've got a couple of different smaller systems, so I'd have to set my phone outside the RV and into the barn where it was pretty cold, and just yeah, just been struggling one way or the other. I got down to a point where I didn't have any water because the well pump takes quite a bit of juice to electricity to run, and so it wouldn't, the batteries were just too low and it wouldn't run that. So I have a $2,000 2,000 watt Predator generator, and I tried hooking that up to it, and that wouldn't even kick the well pump over. So I ran out of water for a day, and finally I ran into town and just had to bite the bullet, and I bought this guy right here. It's another Predator from Harbor Freight. They seem to be pretty dependable, but it's a bit bigger, 3,500, and hooked it up to the well pump, and it started it right up. So it's back to water, and they come. You got an outlet right here, and they provide the cord. You can just, hook up the batteries and charge them. But what I found out, let me switch this around. What I found out pretty quick was it's just not very efficient. I mean, I had to go and look at the stats on this thing, but it puts out about 8 amps of charge, and with 9 100 amp hour batteries, I want to say I ran it for about 6 hours, and it was, like I say, it was down at 11.4. And I think somewhere at 6 hours it was only up to 12.5, which is nowhere near still, topped off, because topped off is right about 14.1 volts on my solar system. So yeah, I've got one 5 gallon, one portable 5 gallon can of gas, and I poured all that in here, and it's down pretty close to being empty again. So that doesn't seem like it's going to work. So probably in the next day or so, what I'm going to do is go into town and just get like a regular battery charger that you would plug into an AC outlet. And obviously, your generator's got AC outlets here. I'm going to try that. I think those battery chargers probably put out more than 8 amps. So I'll check before I buy. I don't want to waste my money, but I'm pretty sure they do. So it would probably be more efficient just to plug a battery charger into the AC outlet, and then let the battery charger do the charging, hopefully at a higher rate than using the 12 volt here that's supplied with it. That would be fine, I'm sure, if you were just charging one battery. But not when you got nine in parallel together. It's proven to take way too long. So I'm happy to have it. Just one thing, typical fashion. If I'm anything, I'm typical male, and when it comes to not reading the directions carefully. So I got it, and I was all excited because my little 2,000 watt generator, you know, you have to hand crank it and everything. And I got this one because you know, it does have the electric start here, and so I was thrilled that I wouldn't have to hand crank them anymore, because in the cold weather you can have to pull several times. And I got something going on in here where you know, some days it bothers me worse than others. So I'm like, I'm definitely getting electric start this time. So get it all. I had it all set up just off to the side of the wood pile over there, and tried to start it up. Hit it just like that, and nothing. And I'm like, what in the world? I thought, you know, they sold me a broken one here, and I'm, you know, kind of cursing to myself and all. But you know, it's got the pull start here, so yeah, first pull fired right up and everything, and so it's running fine. Well, like I say, the weather was super cold. It was snowing. I'm like, I don't want to fool with the thing. I'm not gonna, you know, try to take the panel off or nothing like that. It starts with a crank. I'll deal with it. So today, you know, finally we get some sunshine out, and I think I believe the temperatures are going to be up in the mid 30s today. So with the sun out like this, it's really pretty comfortable. No wind at all, as you know, saw the trees, nothing blowing at all. It's just, for here in Wyoming this time of the year, I think it's just fantastic. At least from what I've experienced the last couple of years I've been here. I haven't been here long, but the 3 years that I have just been brutal. The first year that I moved here in April. I got here April 5th in 2022. And about a week or 2 weeks later, a blizzard came down from Canada, and we had 70-mile wind gusts. And I was, you know, in town in an RV park. 70-mile wind gust. The wind chill factor on that was 60 below zero. And I had water somehow getting through the windows. And then, you know, right at the very bottom, there's kind of a trough there, and that was filling up. And if I didn't, you know, take a towel or something and, you know, absorb that water and then wring it out in the sink, you know, it was starting to spill over onto the walls. So for hours, I was sitting there just keeping up with the water that was building up there. I mean, the RV shaking all over the place, and it was absolutely miserable. So, so glad to have my RV. You know, I'm up here on this property now. I've got it in a protected barn. Stayed warm and cozy between the wood stove going and the my buddy heater on the inside. So staying warm wasn't an issue. It was just having power now. But again, you know, I did have my solar panels in another location, and I thought, you know, moving them to the other side of the barn, I would get more sun. And honestly, I don't believe I am, because just with the location of the trees to the east and west sides of the panels, in the morning it takes a lot longer. The sun's got to get up a lot higher before the trees on the east side are not blocking it. And then, you know, as it moves across the sky and gets a little further over to the west, then there's an issue with trees over there that I didn't consider when I moved that over. So, yeah, I think I'm honestly getting less solar where I moved them. And I don't know. I'll probably, well, we'll see how well this works out with this new generator and getting a battery charger. If I can keep up with it that way, I'm probably just going to leave them right where they're at. But yeah, what I was talking about with me being typical, as far as typical male not reading the directions. And I didn't see it, but I don't know if you can see it right down here. Let me try to get that in the frame. Oh yeah, right here. Connect battery inside. So there you go. That's all that I think is going on there. I'm gonna hook it up here in a second, but like I say, I got by. I got by. Pull starting it, but yeah, just stupidity on my part and everything that I didn't see that down there, because it was on the ground. I mean, but again, someone could say, well, you should have been reading the whole directions before you tried to start it up. And I'm like, well, I know it needs oil. And gas. And then outside of that, it operates just like the other generators, is the way I felt about it. So, yeah, not hooked up. I'll get it hooked up and I'll give it a shot. Like I say, once the weather got cold, it was taking several pulls on that on the hand crank to get the thing to kick off. So I'm kind of interested to see if with the electric start, if it'll start up easier, because that'll be a it's going to be continuously spinning the motor over. So I'll try to do this quick so I don't have to pause the camera, because I don't like doing projects okay. I'm gonna have to go well, maybe I can use this, slide that thing over just a little bit, but it's gonna be kind of a pain. I don't know if I'm gonna pause this or not. Yeah, see, that moved again. There's a little piece you slide. I want to drop these in the snow, but nope. Yeah. Anyway, there's a real small little metal piece here that you have to slide underneath the terminal. This is what's got the threads in it. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a pain here. I might just pause this until I can get it put together. I mean, it's a battery, for crying out loud. No one needs to see that. But yeah, I'll get it put on here and we'll see if it starts up. But hold on one sec. Okay, got them in. Only dropped one of those little connector pieces once in, and luckily didn't lose it in the snow. Things aren't exactly easy to get in there. Now I'm wondering about these wires are kind of stiff. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Should be going over the top. Well, maybe I'll have a little bit more room. All right. Now we'll see if this thing works as advertised. leave it on choke for quite a while with it this cold. Yeah, these things, like I say, I was happy with my Predator 2000. It just, obviously wasn't quite big enough for some of the applications I was using it for, between the solar and the water pump. But it was good for hand tools, and I don't know what else I would have used it for, but yeah, so I think this will wind up doing everything I needed to do. The only thing I would have loved to have had the 5,000 watt for is it comes with the remote control, so I wouldn't even have to come outside and to start it up. I could do it right from inside the motor home. But I did look online. You could buy an aftermarket kit to have a remote start, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't have to walk far and all that. It's just I don't want to get too lazy on that. So this should do it and everything. And we'll see how it works out for the rest of the winter. But I'm really hoping that the battery charger that I'm going to buy will charge these things up. My solar battery is a lot quicker and everything. So because I don't want to do that again. It just I should have never let them get down that low. That'll be the other thing. I mean, when I see it getting down low enough and knowing how long it could possibly take to charge them full up, I'll get on it before that and everything. Might need to pick up one more gas can too if it winds up that the battery charger's no faster than the 12-volt outlet. Then I realized, I'm going to need more gas, fuel storage capacity and everything if I've got to run this thing quite a bit longer. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you know what's been going on around here. I hope you guys, I know back east, you guys are getting a lot more snow than even what I've had here, which is, well, I won't say it's surprising because obviously places like Minnesota and Michigan, they get hammered each year too. But you people down in the Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, Indianapolis, or Indiana, and some of these other southern states, y'all are getting hit pretty hard by that Arctic blast. What I've been watching on the Weather Channel is, and I hope it stays this way till at least March, but there seems to be a pattern where up in just off the northwest, off of, say, Washington and Oregon, out there in the Pacific, there just seems to be this pattern of some kind of a front, however you want to term it, pushing in from west to east, and it's strong enough that the strong cold air that comes down normally from Canada and through Montana and into Wyoming, it's getting bumped slightly east, so it's catching parts of North and South Dakota, and then you guys even further east are catching more of the heart of all that, where generally it would be shooting right down into Wyoming, and I'd be having some really ugly weather. But it's been real mild and everything, and I'm thrilled to death. So I'm hoping that pattern can hold out for at least another 2 months. Get through. Well, what are we at here? It's the 14th. As the time I'm filming this, it's the 14th. So if we can get through January, with it still like that, then really only looking at February to have any real harsh weather. I know March can be iffy, but yeah, all in all, I'm just really hoping it'll stay somewhat mild because I don't want to lose any chickens to the cold weather. I mean, again, I go back to, seems like the native birds around here, they deal with it every year. So maybe I'm just being a little too overcautious on how much my birds can take. But yeah, I can't help but feel sorry when I look out there and see some perched up in a tree and know, maybe it's snowing and they got snow all over them, and know that come nighttime the temperatures are going to dip down really cold. It seems like they would be absolutely miserable. Now they do know too they can get up underneath the coop, so if they needed to get out of that snow, I just don't know if they're smart enough to put two and two together. But I know, from time to time in the day, I'll see them when they're out walking around and everything. I'll see one pop out from underneath the coop, so they do know they can get underneath there. I just don't know if they are smart enough to equate the fact that, hey, if I want to get out of the snow, I can crawl underneath there and things will be a lot better than up here in the tree. And at least with them down below that coop, I know a coyote couldn't get to them, so they'd be safe under there from that. But yeah, we'll see. Definitely, if they make it through this winter, then I'll build a smaller coop, so the ones that seem to be the outcast will have a place to go and not have to just hang out in a tree all through the winter next year. But anyway, that's what's going on here. I hope everybody's doing okay, and we will talk to you later.